All right, it is time for your morning cup of motivation, thanks to our next guest, who is a master life coach, author, and inspirational speaker. We like to call it our Motivational Wednesdays. And we are so happy to welcome back to the show once again, David Essel. Good morning.
Good morning, Carly. Good to be back.
I'm feeling guilty already by what we're talking about today.
This is a big topic.
I can relate to this, and so I'm ready to learn a little bit about myself.
Okay, all right.
Thanks to you. And the subject that we're talking about this morning is, why am I always late? I know I'm not alone. I know there's a lot of you at home too.
Oh my gosh, there's millions and millions of people that are in your corner.
Okay,
so
I'm not alone. I may be late, but I'm not alone.
You're not alone. We were talking earlier, this isn't conscious, so I don't want anyone to take it personally like they're a bad person because they're always late. But it is a very big inconvenience to a lot of people around us, and that's why we wanted to talk about it today.
And I'm not like really, really late. I'm just always occasionally 5, maybe 10 minutes late. And here's your first thing. It says, you know, it's not genetics. This is something you can change. Although I did say my mom was always late, so maybe it was a learned behavior.
Well, yeah, role behavior. You know, I mean, we pick up from our parents or people around us when we're young about what's appropriate, what's acceptable. So if your mom or your dad or your aunt or uncle was always late, then we look at that as being acceptable. You know. But it's not genetics. It's not, you know, you're not an Aquarius, so you can be always late because you're an Aquarius. There's no excuses. It's a behavior that we've picked up over the years, and because it's an environmental behavior, we call it, it can be changed.
Okay.
But there's some really important reasons why people are late.
Okay.
You know, on a subconscious level. Number one.
You say for attention?
Yeah, we get it for attention. You know, like there was a client that I worked with that was always late all the time, and then people would say, they'd start clapping, like at family reunions and at Christmas.
I do have some family members, yes.
Right? And so subconsciously, we're going, well, I'm going to get attention. And it doesn't matter if it's good attention or bad attention. So for the person that's always late, when they come in the room and they go, oh, you know, she'd be late for her funeral, then they start to pick up like, okay, I'm getting some attention here. This isn't too bad, right?
Yeah, I see that. All right. To gain some sense of control, so maybe it's like you feel like that's the one thing you can control is I'm always going to be late?
It's more not I'm always going to be late, but that, you know, I'm going to do what's right for me. Everyone else is pulling me in 1,000 different directions. I'm going to do this, what's comfortable for me.
All right, this is where I think I feel really guilty, because I honestly don't feel this way consciously, but it says my time, my tasks are more important than being on time, or other people's time, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And here's a great story. You know, this woman came in after she had dated a guy for 8 months, and it was the man of her dreams. He told her on day one, the only thing I'll ask of you, well, 2 things, is always be honest and always be on time. That's it. Anything else outside of that, I'm flexible with, but those are 2 things that are deal killers for me.
She still couldn't do it?
She was never on time. For the 8 months they were dating together, and the very last thing that happened that broke it for him was that they were supposed to meet at the movie theater at, let's say, 6 o'clock, and the movie started at 6:15. He said, please be on time. You're always late. We walk in late. At 6:20, she comes walking in, once again late. And he had said, if it happens again, I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to end the relationship. So he ended the relationship. And she comes into the office saying, isn't that ridiculous? I'm 5 minutes late. But for 8 months, he had been asking her, please be on time, and she couldn't. And I said to her, did you call him or text him to say you'd be late?
No, she didn't even do that.
And she didn't. See, and that's where that control of time. I'm going to do what's good for me. Now, even if she had a valid excuse, let's say she got in an accident or something horrendous.
Because accidents do still happen.
Things like that happen. But she didn't even have the courtesy to text or call. And that's when he ended it. But now, the good news is we worked together for 6 months. She's in a brand new relationship for a year now, and she's always on time.
Well, and that kind of, you know, before we run out of time, I think this kind of goes into the second part where you can get help.
Yeah.
This is something that can be fixed, and that's what you say, get help.
Yeah, and we're not going to do it on our own. You know, we need to have someone to hold us accountable for the change. Number one, so you need either an accountability partner, a coach, someone that's going to hold you accountable, number one. Number two, we have to write down all the benefits of being on time. How would it positively affect our lives?
You're a big proponent of that, is like making lists, putting it in writing, right?
Yeah, and that's what helps us to change, because if we leave it in our brain, we have a good intention, nothing changes.
It's kind of the definition of insanity when you're doing the same thing over, expecting different results. So maybe it helps you change those results if you can actually physically put it down.
Yeah, and when you write down all the benefits, no one would be upset with me, no one would joke around and tease me. I would have higher self-confidence. If we're on time, listen, we have higher self-confidence. We feel better about ourselves, you know, by being on time.
Well, and then the last one, reward yourself for being on time. So how can we reward ourselves? I like that idea.
Oh, this is so great. You know, when you have a habit you're trying to break, a lot of us feel bad about it.
Okay.
You know, we're not good enough. We're not a decent enough person. So when we start being on time, we say, okay, I'm going to reward myself. So I'm going to get a massage once a month. If I'm on time 75% of the time, I'm going to get a massage at the end of the month.
Oh, I even like that. Only 75% of the time.
We don't have to be 100%,
okay.
no, because we're trying to change. And for you, it's a habit that you saw your mom have, right? So it's been with you your whole life. So give yourself a little bit of a break, but we do want to change the habit.
All right, well, as we close here, I know you have a conference coming up that you want to invite people to. That it kind of goes into that changing habits, too, that they can learn about. But being a life coach?
Yeah, we have a life coach certification this weekend, and these are the things we work on is why do we have the habits we have, and how do we break them? So if someone is late, or someone always procrastinates on doing their homework, or they procrastinate on getting to the gym, or they're not accomplishing their goals, the life coach certification this weekend helps them to see why we do what we do, and then just as importantly, how do we change our habits? And we only do this every once in a while, Carly, so this is a special event.
Well, you know what you do all the time is you do guarantee that if for whatever reason people come and meet with you and they think, you know, this isn't all what I thought it was going to be, you will actually give them their money back. Thankfully, you have not had to do that yet, but you do like to make sure that that is known.
We offer everyone 100% money back guarantees, so they don't walk in feeling, oh my gosh, I'm going to give this person this money, and what if it doesn't work? So we say, don't worry, if it doesn't work, we'll give you it back. We haven't yet. I don't think we ever will.
Yeah, I don't think he is either. By the way, if you want to find out more about David, he's got a great website where you can find out more. He's got classes, he's got info on pretty much any topic you've ever thought about, anything that you've ever wanted to change. David, we love having you here.
Thank you, Carly.
And we look forward to having you back next Wednesday.
You bet.
For more on David Essel, all you have to do is head to our website as well, fox4morningblend.com.
Up next, we help spread hope for victims of domestic violence. We tell you where families can go to find empowerment, safety, and security. But first, a look at your Fox forecast and news headlines.